Welcome to Down to Earth Astrology and Primal Girl Wellness. I am Ms. Jenny, and I am your astrologer. This video is the January 2023 horoscope, and do we have a fast-moving month ahead of us. So the first thing, I gotta warn you, today is January 2nd, so I'm trying to make sure you guys get this in plenty of time. This is literally a fast-moving month. People, things, ideas, communications, announcement, like blah, 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 all the things that make the daily life run are going to be moving at the speed of like a greased pig at a county fair. Holy wow. So with that in mind, understand that you may not have a lot of second chances to do things or get things right, because things are going to go and you're going to have to keep up or just take the loss. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying. So Mercury is in the sign Capricorn. However, it is stationing direct towards the end of the month, around the 20th. But don't kid yourself. Even though Mercury is retrograde and in an earth sign, which typically combined tend to make things a little slower. In this particular case, Mercury is zipping through the sign Capricorn while it's retrograde, to get to the middle of like the 2/3 way of the month, to spin around and go direct. As this is happening, Mars is stationing as we speak, direct. Mars is coming out of its little, hangover or coma, whatever you want to call it. And it will go direct around the 13th. Now, with these two particular planetary actions happening, one of the things that we can expect is a bit of a slowdown or a standstill, almost like a hiccup, right? Because there's this high velocity, fast energy happening, and then there's this like slamming on the brakes because they're going to make a sharp right turn. So if you've ever seen these car movies like Fast and Furious, where they do these, I don't know what they call them, drifts, right? Where they slam on the brakes and they spin the wheel and then they're like turning like this really fast with lots of smoke and noise. That is what we can expect around the 13th, or just a couple of days, like from the 10th, January 10th, right up through the 19th. So those 9 days, that whole week, we can expect life to feel a lot like a scene out of Fast and Furious, that car movie. Which is to say, fasten your seatbelts if there's anything that's very important to get done, or very time sensitive, or just sensitive in general, and very easily offset or destabilize. You want to make sure you are prepared for major unexpected interruptions and hiccups to happen in that window of time between the 10th and the 19th. Certainly it could happen before then, but I'm telling you, 10th, 19th, so that concentration of energy that's going to have like wheelies and spinouts happening. So I'm just saying. Okay. Now, in this month, Venus is also moving at the speed of lightning, and ironically, it's also in the sign of lightning, Aquarius. So Venus enters Aquarius around the 2nd or 3rd, and it will only be there until about the 26th or 27th of the month. So it's making a fast transit through the sign. Now, while it's doing that, we know that Venus at some point has to cross that Uranus. Venus is in Aquarius. Uranus rules Aquarius. Venus will be squaring Uranus. So the mind boggles at the possibilities here. When Venus gets down close to that 14th, 15th degree of Uranus, which is going to be around the 15th, we got that whole week in there from 10th, 19th. Man, it's a big drama week. So around the 14th or 15th, Venus will be squaring its ruler, or its dispositor. I'm sorry. It will be squaring its dispositor, Uranus and Taurus. So at this point, around the 14th or 15th, especially where relationships are concerned, banking, finance, watch your credit cards, and anything that involves strategically navigating situations and people, for what is the equivalent of progress in your life or in the world, whichever way we're looking at it. We're going to look at some major boiling points hit at this time. So 14th, 15th, That's what we're looking at. Now, notably, on the 14th, we do have a quarter moon at 24 Libra, which is the fixed star Arcturus, which is a very lucky fixed star. So no matter how much chaos it looks like is happening around this time, between the 10th and 19th, and really concentrating around this quarter moon on the 14th when Venus squares Uranus at the same time, understand that there is tremendous good coming out of this, tremendous good and tremendous opportunities to really make some headway and get some wind behind those sails. So be flexible and look for the hidden gems here. They're there. You just got to kind of look past the smoke and the noise to see it. Okay. Now, Jupiter is in Aries, which is supercharging all of this because Jupiter in Aries loves everything fast, fast, fast. Jupiter in Aries is its own Fast and Furious movie. So Jupiter in Aries is absolutely turbocharging this high-speed, fast, go, 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 go kind of energy we will be dealing with all month long. As if, my friends, as if things weren't moving too fast already. Oh my God. Now, notably, the things we want to be aware of this month also, okay, is that Pluto is in those last final degrees of Capricorn. So if you watched the 2023 year ahead report that we just did on a separate video, you know these are potent power charge days. Oh my Lord. Last degrees of the sign. Anything could happen, and anything that does happen is going to happen with a tremendous amount of explosive force, right? So for people who carry planets and, you know, angles, ascendant or midhaven at those last degrees of a sign, you know, they operate in that area of life with a tremendous amount of intensity. They have a force field around them. There's this feeling that people get when they're near them, that there's more here than meets the eye, and this person could be like, you know, a significant challenge to my, you know, position, normalcy, safety, whatever, right? And the thing about it is the person carrying those late degrees doesn't necessarily even have to be that person. You could literally just be walking around doing your life, enjoying an ice cream cone, and people are acting like at any second you're going to take their man away and, you know, get them fired from their job, take over the world, you know, assassinate presidents. Oh my gosh. It's because those last degrees is a concentration of energy. So imagine that sign is distilled, right, into a concentrate. And that makes even the smallest amount very potent and very powerful, even if it's not doing anything at all. Nitroglycerin is tiny and mighty and basically doesn't do anything until you shake it up. So Pluto in those final degrees of Capricorn, we are there now, baby. We are there now. So here is when the drama really kicks in. So starting this month and moving forward for the next couple of months, keep an eye on the world stage. There are big, huge changes that are happening. Like, talk about cliffhangers. But these are big, huge, dramatic conclusions. That's the word I'm looking for. Conclusions that we're coming to in the next couple of months. So you bet your sweet bippy honey, it's going to be a heck of a January, because we are just now starting the grand show, right? We're in the finale, the final act of the play. Like we're there. We are there. So watch what happens, not just in your personal life, but also on the world stage. Because remember, we're coming to the final conclusions of this particular evolutionary episode. And you maybe too. Okay. Saturn remains in Aquarius. Saturn and Neptune are in a semi-sextile relationship. I'll get to that in a second. Venus is going to be around Saturn. As soon as it finishes with Uranus and all that explosive, like make them, break them, like rock them, sock them, like pow, sort of come to Jesus moments in the middle of the month around the 14th. Venus will move down to the sobering, cool mountain airs of Saturn in Aquarius. So we will definitely have a bit of a hangover and a whole lot of uncomfortable austerity that we may be looking down the barrel of as soon as we get to like the 22nd-ish. Now, around the 22nd, we do have a new moon at 1 Aquarius. Oh, there's that Aquarius again. So it's a new moon in Aquarius, and Venus and Saturn are conjunct in Aquarius at the same time. And what the new moon is doing is it's starting a brand new cycle. So we may find that after all of the furor and the hullabaloo that we were dealing with up to that point, culminating around the middle of the month, like between the 10th and 19th, 14th and 18th, big days. By the time we get to the new moon on the 21st, this may be the time when we really have to settle in and we have to accept and resign ourselves to some things. And also look at the very real indication that we may have to tighten our belts, not just financially, but maybe emotionally. We may need to rein in our emotional reactions to things in terms of psychologically, or in terms of speech. Like we may need to rein in those fiery tongues. You people out there with all these opinions about all sorts of stuff we don't have enough information about. For instance, the Idaho 4 murder and the person they just arrested as a prime suspect, and now the internet. By the way, if you haven't followed it, it's a fascinating case. And I just want to add here that one of the big challenges now is after they've arrested somebody as a prime suspect, the internet has gone crazy, digging up information about the family and posting the family's information and the family's, businesses and names and locations. Not cool. Not cool. First of all, innocent until proven guilty. Second, the family had nothing to do with it. Nobody needs to know their business. Y'all need to get out of just get out of their backyards. They don't need to have their stuff on blast. That's just wrong. But everybody wants to have an opinion and everybody wants to be smarter than the next guy on the internet. So they're all digging for something to make them more knowledgeable than the other at the expense, unfortunately, of the suspect's family that had nothing to do with this. So this Venus-Saturn new moon in Aquarius that we're looking at, maybe we need to rein in our mighty tongues, because that may be some of the fallout we're dealing with, where people realize like we may have gone too far. We may have been just a little too free with information and opinions before we absolutely knew for sure what we were talking about. For you personally, this may mean, depending on where Aquarius falls in your chart, this could mean that you may be feeling, the need to kind of tighten up, rein it in, get more organized, right? And develop better systems for how you go about your life. This doesn't have to be an awful time. This is a very, very good time to become a lot more efficient with your use of time, because Aquarians are big time bandits. There's something about time, man. And also like how we get stuff done, right? So use this time wisely and understand there's going to be a very sobering waking up period we're all going to do around the 21st, about the time that new moon kicks in. So there's that. So if you're still in the first 2 weeks of the month and you're hearing this, like, don't panic. Like, everything you're dealing with now is not the end of the world. It will stop and people will come to their senses shortly. Just hang in there. Hang in there. Okay. What else do we have? So this month also, just so you're aware, Uranus, this is a very Aquarian Uranus month. Uranus will station direct at the end of the month on the 22nd. So after we get through that window, the 10th, 19th, Uranus stations. Now we're feeling Uranus stationing all month long. So just because it's officially direct on the 22nd doesn't mean we're not feeling it ahead of time. All month, we're going to be feeling that Uranus station. As Uranus also comes to a slow, grinding stop and then turns around. So this month is going to be the month, or a significant, dramatic month, where lots and lots of things will come to grand conclusion. And things will literally be set in the motion that cannot be undone and will change the course of the future. So there's that to look forward to. So, and that is it. That is your January horoscope. I'm trying to keep this short for you guys. While you're doing your monthly planning, keep those dates in mind. And also, I want you to keep in the back of your mind some things that will help you navigate the month. So right now, there's a very heavy emphasis of Uranus and Aquarius in the month, right? And the month is moving fast. Make no mistake about it. We're not going to get second chances. So be prepared to act when you need to act, or let it go. Like, just take the loss, because nothing's going to stop and wait for you, and it's not going to come back and give you a second chance. You only get a chance, one chance to get it right this month. And the fallout be what it may. So look for the house where Aquarius sits in your chart. Now, if you don't know what time you're born, it's okay. again, there's the, go back to the 2023 year ahead report, and we'll talk about how to set up a solar horoscope using your sun sign, just your sun sign. And then from there, what you're going to do is figure out where Aquarius sits in your solar chart. Okay. And then you're going to look up your house rulerships because we have homework for you. And then from there, you're going to look at where all this Aquarius energy, this sobering Aquarius energy, like cold water on a face, right, is kicking in your life this month. So, just as an example, right? So Aquarius, right. So in my chart, as an example, right? I'm literally just stream of consciousness right now. In my chart, if I were using my chart or my solar chart, Aquarius is going to sit in the 6th house, 7th house, 6th or 7th house. We use both of them. So all of this heavy Aquarius Uranus emphasis in the 6th house is absolutely going to revolutionize and change and require dramatic, systematic changes, right? Improvements in the efficiency of systems. That's this whole Aquarius thing, right? In the house, if it's the 6th house, it would be my house of housekeeping, hygiene, discipline, everyday habits. So literally getting my house in order in terms of my habits or my housekeeping is going to be a big, very important thing that's really going to like hit home when we get to that new moon on the 21st. Okay. If it's in the 7th house, it would be coming through the lens or the arena of partnerships and relationships. So if this new moon and all this Aquarius energy was, concentrating in my 7th house, this would be a matter of, sorry, hang on. It would be a means and a matter of honestly examining my relationships and more importantly, my friendships and the people I have connections to through my partners. So it wouldn't be the immediate relationship, it'd be the secondary relationships outside of that. If you have Pisces rising, you would carry Aquarius, Pisces carry Aquarius on the 12th house. Sometimes I swear, like you wouldn't know I'm an astrologer. Memory of a goldfish. So if you're carrying in the 12th house, right, deep psychological house, it's a little confusing trying to read that one, but there's going to be an internal push to get it together and to start streamlining how you're thinking and get more into an organized or collective kind of environment where faith and spirituality can be expressed and supported, 12th house, in a meaningful way and structured way, Saturn. Right? Uranus and Saturn. But it wouldn't necessarily be such a limited thing because Uranus and Aquarius is a very group-oriented sign. So you may find yourself getting involved in self-help, rehab, spiritual practices, some kind of group where the whole point is to be supportive of each other in terms of your internal development. So that's kind of the way we do this when we look at this Aquarius, this new moon Aquarius, all this Aquarius Uranus energy, like kind of moving around. And that's how you're going to do it too. So I'm not going to go through all 12 signs. I know somebody's going to hate me for that, but it's okay. If you're watching my channel, chances are very good that you actually do, even just a little bit, want to be a better astrologer. So I'm going to let you look up the house rulerships and kind of figure that out. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. If it's not terribly personally specific, I'll be happy to answer them. But if it's something that requires a really in-depth explanation, and you're asking me basically to look at your chart, I'm going to recommend that you contact me for a private consultation and we can go over it in depth together by Zoom or by email, whichever works. Then I don't have a lot of time to sit and type. Typing takes a lot of time. And also, stuff that we put out as general information should be useful for the general public. So you don't want your business out there like that. And that is it. So look for a fast moving freaking month, Fast and the Furious. I'm going to name this month the Fast and the Furious. So be prepared, mark the dates on your calendar, and we'll see you guys next month.